Welcome to the morning coffee here, kickoff session here with the FX Breakdown on a beautiful Friday afternoon. Yes, it is Preachy Friday for those that don't know. We're going to go ahead and take a look and see what happened this week and how the markets reacted. We didn't have a lot of opportunities this week, and there wasn't a lot of news out this week. We did have some central bank conversation that happened yesterday as well as is happening today. We do see the dollar moving back and forth. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the dollar, take a look at US oil, but then also take a look at the currency, the currencies this week that we were looking at the beginning of the week on Monday. So with that being said, traders, I'm going to grab another sip of my coffee, but I'll see you right after this. Alrighty, traders. Well, welcome back to the session. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of things this morning. I want to make sure that the sound and video is coming through loud and clear. Everyone that is in the chat right here, we've got Carlos, good morning, and Sophie here. Fantastic. We've got a bunch of traders still coming in slowly. It looks like it's a slow Friday. Traders are slowly starting to walk into the trading session. Well, let's go take a look and jump into the first two that I want to pay attention to is, of course, dollar index and US oil. But before I get into that, let's take a look at the currency pairs that did go ahead and create opportunities for this week's trading. So jump into the charts. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now, this is the document, and by the way, the document can be found in the description, and you can go ahead and access this document if you go ahead and track the trading opportunities for the week. Here we have the Euro CAD. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. There was 4 opportunities this week, and I'm going to go ahead to the Euro CAD first. So Euro Canadian dollar. Let's take a look at the Euro Canadian dollar first. And here we go. All right. So we had a missed target down here. We had a missed target down here. So price eventually got down to that target at the beginning of this week. But if you look at the trading for this week, price moved up towards that target without putting us into a trade. So we actually hit the target with no trading opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and call that a hit target. And it was no trade. All right, we did call it a low probability. Let's go to the pound Canadian. Let's take a look at the pound Canadian this week as well. And there we go, pound Canadian. Good morning, William. All right, here's the pound Canadian. Did it open? No. All right, there we go. Pound Canadian also moved up to its target this week. So we're going to go call that also a hit target and no opportunity this week. So we hit the target, but we couldn't get in on that trade. Let's go to New Zealand CAD and then US dollar CAD. Let's take a look at those two trading opportunities this week. Here it is. New Zealand CAD, New Zealand US dollar. Now, let me just make sure. It's New Zealand CAD. So let's go to New Zealand CAD right here. New Zealand CAD price did not go ahead, or just we could not get into a trade on this one. So this was a hit target, but no trading opportunity. Let's go to US Canadian, and the same thing applied right here. Target was hit, no trading opportunity. So you can see this week was a very quiet week for us with regards to trading opportunities. All right, very quiet week. We had low probability trading opportunities on all 4 of them, and all 4 of them hit the target without giving us a trading opportunity to get back into that trade. Now, I'm not going to just leave you there. Let's go ahead and take a look this morning at the dollar index as well as US oil. Get a quick look at what's going on because of the central banks having their meetings about the economy, and in the Fed's chair, Powell, actually spoke yesterday about his stand on inflation and, of course, on jobs. And they are saying that they are actually very firm on taking action if they move out of the range of the 2% inflation, which is pretty good. We did see reaction in the market yesterday, but I don't think it did a lot to the dollar index based on the patterns that we've seen. So let's take a look and see what's going on here on the dollar index. So we're going to move to the dollar index, and we'll also go ahead and take a look at US oil as it starts trading above $43 a barrel. So here is the dollar index. I always like to go to the higher time frame, and here it is right here. So in yesterday's movement, we did go ahead and trade. It was choppy yesterday. Today seems a little more bearish today, and it's trying to break out of that support level right here. So I look at this and I say, traders, this is actually the perfect scenario, because we are seeing the market trading a little lower, all right, trading a little lower, and then we also see the oscillator actually confirming right here that this could be the divergence level that we're looking for. So as price trades a little lower, and I had a challenge with one of my students in the trading room, and he said, big dog, I see price coming down to about 11,870, and I'm like, well, I'm a little bit on agreement, but I'm going to say that we're not going to break through this level of support right here. But now looking at this divergence, I'm thinking Brian might be onto something, but I'm going to stick with my guns, right? We did pop out a little bit below here, but I'm saying that I expect price to remain above this level. So I'm expecting price to remain here, and eventually turn around and start heading back up to this channel line right here. So let's look out for the dollar index next week as the dollar index starts making its move. Right now, it seems pretty range bound. Now, this could be the tone heading into the elections. A lot of indecision, and then eventually price going ahead and break it into a direction based on what comes out on the 11th of November. Traders, if you're based here in the US, go vote. Vote, vote, vote. Everyone needs to go ahead and vote and do their part in the election. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on right here with the US oil. US oil is range bound. It's actually confirmed by my FX trilateral indicator right here, which indicates price is moving into a range. Liquidity slowing down. There's not enough volume in the market to be able to push it out of this range, and it's still stuck in this range. Even though we're trading above $43 a barrel, it's still inside my contraction phase, which means that I am not going to react unless it breaks out of that. Right now, it's not. And I also got to make sure that it breaks out with a high Kanashi candle. High Kanashi candles indicate momentum, or at least give us a good sense of the momentum breakout. So we don't have any sort of momentum breaking out of the range, so therefore we are on the sideline. We don't expect the price to break up. In fact, this prediction that US oil is going to drop down to, well, $30 a barrel, maybe 26, all right, possibly 26, and then start breaking back up, that's still in play. I'm looking for a correction move on US oil. But I'm not going to go ahead, I'm not oblivious to the fact that if price breaks above that contraction box, I'm not going to go, well, you know what, I'm still going to wait for $26 a barrel. No, I will be taking action above that level. All right, so we'll see what happens. Right now, nothing is happening. Now, to be honest with you, I'm actually trading Aussie CAD bearish. I'm bearish in Aussie CAD, and it's not looking good right now. But I've got positions in, I'm loaded in, but I'm really thinking about next week already. I'm thinking about the cash rate coming out with the Aussies. I'm expecting a rate cut next week, and if I can get a rate cut, check this out. If I get a rate, I'm not going to get a rate cut. What am I saying? There's no rate cut next week. Look, they're going to keep the rates unchanged. I think that's a given, right? Just like the New Zealand dollar a couple of weeks ago, they kept the rates unchanged. But what happened? We saw an extreme bearish move on the New Zealand dollar, but it was only for a short term, right? Only short term, and then it started getting really, really strong over the next couple of weeks. Now, I'm expecting very similar sort of reaction to the Aussie. The first reaction is, oh my gosh, what's going on with the economy? Job not good, housing not good, all this good stuff, is inflation starting to be affected. This is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting reaction in the Aussie next week to be bearish. So 1st September, 12:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, we're going to see the market react. I'm expecting a bearish move in the Aussie. I've got a lot of Aussie bearish setups. I'm trading a lot in the Aussie, so I'm putting a lot on the news next week and expecting a downside move. Now, that will be just short-term. Short-term move on the Aussie, bearish, and then eventually we can start building up some strength in the Aussie again, just like I saw with the New Zealand dollar. Listen, yeah, that was what I'm anticipating. This is my speculation on that. We'll see what happens when the news actually comes out, because everything comes down to what really happens and how the market creates patterns for us to identify trading opportunities. So that is that. So let's go ahead and continue right here. As I look at a couple of things here, I want to look at the reaction in the Euro JPY this morning. Look at this. We had a big move. And by the way, I'm selling Euro JPY. And when it got to this point right here, when it rallied up here to the high of 26.76, I was thinking that, man, yes, this is right here. This is a possible another sell opportunity right here. But you know what? What I really liked about what's going on right here is I'm still seeing this divergence holding on. Right? Price and momentum is still disagreeing right here, which is great. And so I held on to my shorts on the Euro JPY. Literally held on my shorts because this was tough. Now, I did say to myself that, hey, listen, if price comes back up to this level, which is my liquidation level from a previous contraction box, if it comes up to that, that'll give me another opportunity to go ahead and sell again on this particular bit. And I am leveling in on this trade. All right. Now, I've got a few sells already on the Euro JPY that we're holding in on some target. I'm going to show you where that is. So let's see here. From a few weeks ago. Where is it? There it is. Nope, that is not it. There it is there. So I'm still holding on, and that was on the 20th of July. Holding on to this Euro JPY sell right here. So I've got a few positions in, loaded on that, and looking for price to go further back down. And I'm looking, really, this is what I want. I've got a good lot of positions in on this. And I really wanted to break below 124.49. You know, on one of my other accounts, I've actually loaded the bust on the Euro JPY. And when it came back down to this level of 124.49, I was good in the money. But you know what? I got a little greedy on that. I looked at this and I'm like, you know what? I can see this thing dropping down a little further. And if it breaks that level of 124.49, there's so much room to the downside. We could go down to about 116. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to hold on to this thing. This is going to be and I spoke about that with the Euro New Zealand dollar when we took that big buy, and we made so much profit on the Euro New Zealand dollar a couple of weeks ago. In fact, last month I pulled out 19% return, and that was based on the fact that I held on to a good position on the Euro New Zealand dollar that gave us that amount of profit. So we closed out a good return last month. And so this month is really the JPY, the Euro JPY for me. And if it breaks that level, this could be a good payout. Maybe not this month because we haven't got much time left. But next month is going to be a good payout on that particular pair once it breaks below that 124.49 level. So that's why I held on to it. Getting a little greedy thinking this is going to be my big payout. But it didn't break that. And when it came back up, I'm like, oh, you son of a gun. I'm like, you cannot do that. But I'm so glad to wake up this morning and find out that the Euro JPY did not break above and get to that level of the liquidation level, and actually is on its way down. Now, does it retest 124.49, and does it break? That's the question. We'll have to check out next week how that plays out. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what else we got here that I want to pay attention to. Oh, and that is the pound Aussie. Let's take a look at the pound Aussie right here. Love the pound Aussie. If you look at the pound Aussie right here, we are setting up with a great opportunity. For those that don't know and cannot see this, I need you to pay special attention to what's going on right here. There is a possible break of this contraction box. All right. Now, when the market is showing, let's see. Hold on, I got to do big screen here. When you see this contraction box, it offers you opportunities. When you see a contraction box built out with this FX trilateral indicator, what happens is this indicator shows us where price is starting to contract, right? Where we're starting to see lower liquidity on this pair traded, so therefore the market is starting to tighten up. Now, when it tightened up, oh, let me say that again. So when it tightens up, great, I got it. When it tightens up, what happens is we got a couple of opportunities that we can, or a few opportunities that we can trade this. When the market creates these contraction boxes, and the market is in an uptrend, just like we're seeing with the pound Aussie dollar, when it breaks out to the sell side, it's a fake out. It's a false breakout, which means that price is starting to expand. Expand means that we go into contraction. It breaks out to the back, at the bottom side, the top side, and then moves into a trend. So we have contraction, expansion, and then trend. And so what happens is when the market expands, which we're expecting this to happen on this pair, we can add into this position as we're expecting price to continue. Now, if I'm right next week, and that we are going to see a weak Aussie dollar next week, then we could see this being an expansion move, opportunity to get into on a buy, and then look for the rally to the upside as market starts trending. Check this out. All right, so this is what we're looking for right here. I'm hoping that all made sense, right? I've had a lot of coffee this morning, so I'm really pumped up. And so this is what I'm looking for right here. Here is the contraction. Now I'm expecting expansion. And then I'm looking for trend. All right, that's what it is. And the reason why I'm expecting this side of the move is because of the way the market's set up right now. So this is the deal. When I look at this right here, it offers me an opportunity to buy in. Listen here, I'm already loaded in on the pound Aussie. That's no secret to anyone on this. I've spoken about this a few times. I like the fact that we're seeing the possibility of divergence here. If we have a turnaround right here, we could have a nice divergence level where, actually, sorry guys, I'm lying to you because there's no divergence here. My bad. We may have to look for divergence here though. All right. So let's go take a look right here. Let me go ahead and compress the chart, and I'll show you why I'm bullish on this. This is the reason. I'm bullish on this because I'm expecting price to go like this, like that, go back up, and hey, listen here, it would be great if we can get to this level right here. But I don't think it's going to get to that point because we've got this big downward AB move, and this is a bearish flag. So with a bearish flag right here, we're actually expecting a breakout to the south side right here. But in the short term, we should see a rally where we could turn around and head back down south and then start a swing from here to here. This will be our inside AB swing as price starts working its way back down south. So exciting stuff as we start moving into next week and as the technicals start setting up these opportunities for us to go ahead and trade. Now, the question here is, do we have targets? Are we actually trading something on this already? Let's take a look at our weekly target right here. Oh, snap. There it is there. Now, let's go ahead and mark it off. There's a target right here. Price is chasing after this target right here. What is that price there? Let's take a look. That price is at 79.18. Now, 79.18, I'm going to go ahead and put 79.18 here on the chart. All right, 79.18. Well, that's pretty easy. Look at this. Here is the support level right here. See here? This is 78. So 79.18 is right about here. Okay, that's the target. So we're going to see price possibly move down to this target, and then that is where we're going to start seeing price here. So as we get closer to that target, this is where I'm going to start looking to load the bus, okay, and then trade it back up again through this contraction box right here. So watch out for that target. Once we hit that target, and once we get out of that trade at the target right here, we're going to start thinking about a possible upside bullish move on the pound Aussie dollar. Listen here, traders. If I haven't said this before, I'm going to say this right now. It is Preachy Friday, so I'll get to say what I want to say, right? This is the deal. You got to know what the environment is. You got to know the environment. That is going to be key to anyone that's trading. Whether you're scalping, short-term trading, or taking on position trades, it doesn't matter. You have to understand what environment you're trading in order to be successful. Because traders, once you understand the environment that you're trading, then what you need to do is you need to understand what strategy I'm going to use. You know, understand the environment, will then make a decision as to how I want to trade it. What strategy am I going to use? And then after that, you're not done yet. Because once you identify the environment, then you have to think about, am I going to approach this from a gear up, gear down trading approach? Which means, traders, if the market's showing a range and you want to trade that range, you may need to gear it down in order to have a better opportunity. If you don't know what a gear down, gear up means, check out the videos in my YouTube channel. We do talk about it, and there is a video that can explain that to you. So you have to approach it from a gear up, gear down trading approach. If you don't do that, you're not going to hit the potential you can on those trades. In fact, sometimes it calls for us to be aggressive. But if it's not part of your comfort zone, if it's not part of your personality as to be a little more aggressive in trading, then that means stand aside. That's an easy decision for anyone to make. When it doesn't fit your comfort zone, then stand aside. Traders, listen, we're going to be back on Monday for another shoot again, and we'll go ahead and take a look and see what's going on in the market. You guys have a great weekend, fantastic weekend. We've got a lot of news coming out next week. We've got non-farm payrolls. We've got, of course, the rate decision out in Australia. A lot of good stuff that's going to move the market a little bit. We've got some mid data coming in with the ADP numbers coming up on Wednesday. Man, it's going to be absolutely awesome. And don't forget the Canadian news as well, because that's something we're also going to be paying attention to. We've got Canadian jobs coming out on Friday as well. We'll check it out and see how that moves the market and see what opportunities present ourselves next week. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. You guys are great. Thank you very much. Do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, go ahead and do that. Share the video with others so they can go ahead and become part of this, as well as comment and like the video. Love you guys. Have an absolute awesome weekend, and we'll see you guys next week Monday. Pacific Big Dog signing off.